you're watching this on a different day, happy whatever day it is that you're watching it. So I am here live at the house, and I've got Terry here with me in person. I could turn the screen, but yell hi, Terry.
Hello.
See, Terry's here with me, and you might be watching this on a replay or in my customer group, and we are going to be talking just for a little while about flawless face, about foundations, and all the good things that come with it. So what I wanted to do is share the screen. And we're going to talk about products. Aren't you excited? I can tell you're all just thrilled to pieces. I want products. Let's see what it looks like here. Okay, so we are going to go into the depths of makeup. So we're going to talk about all the different things that are available to us. The first one, I think it's kind of self-explanatory. You want to make sure you wash your face. However, it's also important to moisturize, because you want to make sure that you're protected from all the gobbledygook in the air. So let's assume that we moisturized and moisturizer's on. We let it hang out. We don't go right into the next step, because sometimes when we go too quickly, the products aren't as effective. Okay, so foundation primer, which is one of my favorite products in the whole wide world, because it feels like velvet silkiness. And I'm going to see if I can get this to load. We're going to pretend it is. We're going to totally pretend that it is. There it is. And it's a broad spectrum SPF 15. And it's like spackle for your face. Truly. And everybody has a different amount that they like to put on. I'm a big fan of making sure that it is glided. I have glided it.
Don't ask me that.
This is really water, I promise. And that I have had the product glide over my nose. There we go. I went to the right tense. We don't want it to be rubbed in like a moisturizer. It's all about just gliding across the area. So I make sure that raccoon area, like right across the nose, because my nose has some divots. Anywhere where we've got some imperfections and divots, we want to make sure that we get it all in there, because the job of the primer is going to fill imperfections. It dries quickly for a matte finish. It's for all skin types. It's fragrance-free, dermatologist tested, and it's non-comedogenic, which means it's not going to clog your pores, which I'm a big fan of. So basically, you hang out there, you put that on, let it kind of be. And that's where we get to be super exciting and pick the kind of foundation that's going to work for us. So I just stopped screen sharing. Hypothetically, yes, I did. And now we're going to go into kind of deciding what it is, what foundation choice is going to be the best one for you. Because I really feel like everybody's different. Like if you would have told me in my 30s that I needed to be wearing foundation, I would have said, oh, that's so cute. I'm not going to do that, because I didn't want to feel like cakey or heavy or anything like that. So I love the fact that they ask these basic foundation questions. This is a quiz that consultants can get their hands on and download and just have it on hand. We also have the greatest foundation quiz online, and we're going to take a peek at that in a minute too. But this kind of helps steer you to what product is the best one for your lifestyle and what's going to feel great on your skin. So your first question is, what's your skin type? Are you normal, oily, dry, or combination? What kind of finish do you prefer? Do you like natural, glowing, matte, or glam? Okay. Do you like light to medium, medium to full, or full coverage? And that's basically like, I think of it as, if I have freckles, I don't want to see them, would be full coverage. Okay. That's how I kind of think of it. When, how do you spend most of your day? Working from home, running errands, working out of the office, brunching or lunching. Then what's your perfect evening? Is it a girl's night out, a girl's night in? painting the town red, or celebrating like a star. And then your number 6, I love this one. What's your favorite go-to outfit? And it's, I can't read it. Something wear. Athleisure wear. There we go. I didn't know that was a word. Jeans and a t-shirt, super cute dress, or trendy ensemble. And basically, if you've answered A to most things, then CC Cream is going to be probably a good starting point for you. That one's great because it's in 5 shades, and we'll talk more about that in a second. If B was your mostly answered question, then you're going to be looking at the Luminous 3D foundation, and that's got more shades to pick from. It's going to give you a luminous, it's going to give you extra hydration, extra moisturization, and a dewy look. And then the matte foundation is that matte coverage where it's going to kind of just keep it. If you're on the oily side, that's probably where you're answering a lot of C's. And then the cream to powder endless performance foundation is if you answer mostly D to those questions. That kind of gets you set up there to figure out what the heck is going on. So that being said, I'm going to see what happens if I go to CC Cream. And I know it's showing up here, but now I'm going to go onto YouTube to make sure that it's showing up there, because I love technology, right? I just keep saying that. If I just keep saying I love it, then I'll love it. Okay, it's going. It's happening. Oh, it's there. Okay, good. Then I can talk about it. So, pardon me. Okay, so it's got 8 benefits. So you've got protecting, brightening, correcting, minimizing. It's going to help with redness, conceal, hydrate, reduce visible signs of aging, and defend. This is also a product that replaced our tinted moisturizer a million years ago. So some people, like, let's say you're in a really big hurry and you basically only have time to wash your face and, maybe grab a mascara and a lip gloss and get in the car, and you don't even have time to moisturize. There's enough moisturization in there. Unless you're on the super dry side, this can get the job done, okay? It's going to help out with really evening out your skin tone. If you are hard to match, I'm going to choke for a second. If you're hard to match, this is a really good starting point because there's only 5 shades. You've got very light, light to medium, medium to deep, deep, and very deep. And what I like about this is that you can have a good guess, and we all have different foundation shades during the year. We have winter shades and we have our summer shades, because in the summer we usually are a little bit darker, even if we don't go out and tan, just because of what happens. So this one is $22 retail price. It's got a pump on it. And so I always tell people, when you're running low, you definitely want to, don't wait till you're absolutely out before you contact your consultant. So I love these little fact sheets because they give you some good stats. 95% of women says it evens out their skin tone. 87% says it instantly illuminates. There's, the coverage, the redness, conceals, it hydrates for 10 hours. It'll help reduce visible signs of aging. And again, it's just a one-step flawless kind of skin. So some people use this as their base layer of foundation. Some people will use it as their only layer of foundation. I think it's great with the foundation primer because you use less when you have foundation primer on. So CC Cream is one of your options. The Luminous, which was that answer B in that quiz we talked a little bit about, this is going to produce or provide a luminous finish, give you 12 hours of moisturization. It's humidity and sweat resistant. And it's got some age-fighting goodiness in there. And it's going to help prevent skin damage that's caused by blue light, which I think is pretty awesome. So this one has tons and tons of shades, and we'll talk about that in a little bit here too. It's the best match to your skin tone that you've ever found, all that kind of stuff. We help figure out what your best shade is. 9 out of 10 women love it. It's going to provide a seamless match to my skin tone, natural looking finish, smooths the appearance of fine lines, and feels comfortable on the skin. It doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't feel like it's going to slide off your face, regardless of which formula you're using. So I think that's pretty awesome. So that's your Luminous. And it says normal to dry. I usually recommend it just for my dry people. However, we had a customer here a couple weeks ago, one of my customers, and she's more on the oily combo side. And she loved what her skin looked like with the Luminous more so than the matte. So I think it's good to make sure you have a conversation, and we're able to offer that money back guarantee, or you can exchange it or try something else. And I think it's important to make sure that your customer's happy. So we learned on the fly a couple of weeks ago. So let's go on now up here. Same deal as the Luminous, but this is the matte. It's humidity and sweat resistant formula, 12 hours of control, gives you a long lasting matte finish. It's going to have the age minimized 3D complex, and again, helping prevent skin damage caused by blue light. And then the same stats are in there. It's actually higher stats on this one than on the Luminous, but it's great. These are all really, really good. So same deal, tons of shades to pick from. And we will definitely, I'll double back so you can see a little bit there. We talked about CC cream. Don't mind me. Endless Performance. There we go. Endless Performance cream to powder foundation. This is heat and humidity resistant, so it's great when it's super duper hot outside. Stays true and appears fresh for 12 hours. It's got 16 shades, which is not as many shades as the Luminous and the matte. However, there's plenty to pick from. And buildable coverage. So it goes on light as a cream and dries to a soft powdery finish. So not that I like to name drop, but there is a company, a cosmetic company that is found in stores that is 3 letters. And the first one starts with and the last one ends with k, and the middle and the vowel is ah. And so they have, it's like it's the closest thing to their pancake foundation. So a lot of people that have tried that have tried our Endless Performance and are very, very pleased. The price point on it's great. I believe it's $18, but we'll double check that to make sure I'm not lying to you. We'll check it out on the website. But what I love about it is that it took me a long time to try it. And once I did, I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. You can use a sponge. We have our the big black sponge that's about the size of a salt shaker. That's the one. You get it wet and you kind of use it and can kind of work the product around. You can also use a foundation brush if you wanted to, but I like it's easier for me to work with the sponge. I'll use my liquid foundation brush on the other liquids, but this one's a little bit easier to play with. So that's a good thing. Now I want to talk about super silky setting powders. Now these are not foundations, but it's designed to help you smooth everything out. Okay. It's plant-based emollient, contributes to a silky whisper-like softness. It's going to reflect the next generation in high-performance powders. Some people will put it on just on top of their primer, but it's not a mineral powder foundation, you guys. It's a setting powder. So this is really great if you want to look that photo finish ready. If you're doing a lot of stuff on social media, this is a great one. I use it just kind of as a finishing product. Again, tons of different shades to pick from here. And we've got a conversion chart. So once you know what your foundation, your liquid foundation is, or any of the other foundation shades, we can figure out which silky setting powder is going to work best for you. Okay. All these are dermatology tested and all that good stuff as well. So Yay. There's also a translucent powder, which I love quite a bit. I'm going to get out of here and stop screen sharing for a second. And it's right here, and I love it because it looks great for everybody. You don't need to have a foundation match in any way. Even my bronze girls can put this on, and it'll help seal the look. And so what I usually do is I'll go ahead and put this on after my cheeks have been done. However I'm doing it. So I did contour, highlighter, and a cheek color in the middle. And then I went ahead and put this on. Then I went ahead and put the Silky setting powder on. So that's just an option. You can do one or the other or both. You can even flip flop, because I used to put this on the top. And then I had a friend say, I put it the opposite. And I was like, okay. And so I like all of it. So it's all good. You can play. It's all good. Okay. So now what I want to do, we're going to stop sharing over here. We're going to start sharing back into the magical land of the Mary Kay website. And we were here, and we're going to come on out. And right here is the Find Your True Shade, Take the Quiz. Now, this was found just by going in and looking at makeup. Okay. But here, what I love is it asks you really, really simple questions. So we're going to pretend you're me. Everybody's going to pretend they're Danny, okay? And we're going to find our 3D foundation true shade, okay? So what range do we think is closest to my skin tone? And some people like to look here, some people on their hand, some people like to look on their face. I try to look in this area here on my face, my lower jaw area, just because that's where we always have that grandma line of demarcation, which is really the 8th grade line of demarcation now. So I would say I am probably in just the straight up ivory. I don't think I'm in the too light of ivory. I think I'm just in ivory land. So we're going to go ahead and pick that. And then we're going to say next. What kind of coverage do I want? Well, Danny's still on the oily side, even though I'm well past the age where I should be. And so matte and shine free is my fave. Okay. So that already, we know it's going to start pulling me over to the matte side, which is okay. Okay. How does my skin respond to time in the sun? Now, this is where things get interesting. Okay. If I burn or turn red easily and my skin tone stays mostly the same all year, you click on that. Sometimes I burn, but my skin tone deepens afterwards. Now, as hard as it is to believe, that's what I do. Because my arms really are darker than the rest of me. Which is a frightening thought. And then if you are a rarely burner and your skin deepens throughout the summer, those are my tanning goddesses, my girls that can go out and automatically look like they've had a spray tan and look fantastic. Yeah, I'm a little jealous, but that's them. So I'm going to pick the middle one. Okay. Now everybody's different. Now, if I did not do the freckle thing, if I just burned, peeled, and went back to porcelain again, then I would definitely pick that first one. But because I go burn, peel, freckle, and the freckle comes in and then the skin kind of is a little bit darker, that's why we picked that one. Okay. What's my number one must-have foundation benefit? We've got weightless, comfortable feeling on my skin. We've got all day long wear that won't disappear in heat or humidity. And we've got skin-loving, age-defying ingredients. I want, we're going to go with all day long wear that won't disappear in heat and humidity. How's that? Mm-hmm. I think so. Okay. Okay. Looks like there's more than one shade that might be right for you. So let's talk about this. Sometimes it just gives you one shade. Sometimes it's going to give you two. It's never going to give you more than two. Okay. So in my case here, the quiz says I'm either N140 on the ivory side or ivory N160, which is that's If I'm a C, that means I'm a cool. If I'm an N, it means I'm a neutral. And if I'm a W, it means I'm a warm. Okay. So N140 is what I wear almost all the time. Okay. And so I'm looking to see, is it showing over here? It's not. I'm so sad. I did this whole quiz just bada bing, bada boom, didn't I? Look at that. Let's see, you guys were so good to me. Let's see, what's it doing now? Is it showing?
Maybe it hasn't caught up yet.
Maybe. I don't know. Either way, it's going to give you all the info about it and you can start over. Now, here's the cool part is it's also giving, there it went. It's also giving you the option that you check with your beauty consultant to confirm your perfect match. And you talk to her also about trying Ivory W130 and Ivory W150. Okay, so we're going to stop sharing all the magic here because I want to talk to you about what I think is really cool. Start with the shade that they recommend. Mm-hmm. And I think going one darker is great. And what they showed you there was even going one lighter, but on the warm side. So they were recommending 130, 140, 150, or 160, all of which are great. Okay, so because I'm an N, 140 and 160 are the recommended two that we came up with. So, and 140 is what I come up with for me. So what you can do, and this is what we did a couple weeks ago with one of our customers, is we did a stripe test over here and a stripe test over here and just kind of, rubbed it in to see. And then we kind of did a little back and forth looking and getting, team responses, because sometimes, we want to make sure that the lighting is good and sometimes lighting's not great and you want to go outside and check it out. It ended up being the shade darker than the recommended shade looked the best on her, but she still looked okay in the original recommended shade. So it's not 100% foolproof. But what I love about it is from a consultant standpoint is that it gives us something to work from. So when we're talking about this as a booking opportunity for customers, because I am going to put this in my customer group too. In my customer group, they can kind of go, okay, I want to get some friends together and we can all figure out what our foundations are. And that's really great because that's the next step. Once you've started skincare, well, then we want to make sure that you're protecting your skin from all the gobbledygook in the universe. Even if you don't wear foundation all the time, you want to at least come up with a protective layer. So if that's you and you're not a foundation girl and you don't really want to, CC cream would be a really good starting point for you. Okay. If you are past that point and you like foundation and you like to put it on because it's part of your daily glam, then we would figure out which shade is going to work for you from there. We've got conversion charts all over the place that we can work from to figure out, okay, if I'm a matte 140 here, what would I be in CC cream? What would I be in my concealer? What would I be in all of those other products, which I think is really helpful because they're all good starting points. And ultimately, you want to make sure that you feel good and you look good, and that's the end. And then whenever I'm done with putting foundation on, whether I'm doing color or whatever, finishing spray is like the greatest thing in the whole wide world, and it saves lives. And I did Terry's trick and putting it on my earpieces, my nose pieces of my glasses. I sprayed on it and then cleaned up around the spray and made sure that it stayed still there. It really has made a difference.
Translucent powder works too.
Translucent powder also works too. See, we're so helpful for each other in Mary Kay. It's great. So bottom line is lots of foundation options for you. And we want to make sure that your face is as flawless as it could possibly be. And so basically we're talking about primer, your liquid foundation or endless performance of choice, a silking setting powder or a translucent powder, a foundation or spray afterwards after we're done, right? And then some form of a concealer. Those would be our Fab 5 products that we would be able to work from for a fun look for you. So hope that helps. And look at us, it's 25, 5 and 25. done.
Did it.
So we did it. And so you might want to get with your consultant and figure out what we can do to make your face flawless and fabulous. Bye for now.